What's the most you've made a year in real estate?
Six mil. If there's an ATM machine that you can put $1 into and it's going to spit 8 back out, wouldn't you put the $1 in?
Yeah.
That's marketing, by the way. Marketing is an investment, not an expense.
That was everything someone would need to do $1 million a year just cold calling, or even any comparable type of marketing. Welcome to the Wealthy Investor Podcast. My name is Brian Davila. This is the #1 real estate podcast in the world. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
It's actually a statistical fact. You could Google this information. But today on the podcast, we have one of the best real estate investors in the country. So good, has done 1 million wholesales, 1 million flips. Carlos Reyes.
Thank you, brother. Wow. We went live quick.
Yeah, we're going for it.
Right? So this is a real thing. You guys are charting pretty well.
Yeah, we are actually statistically the #1 podcast.
Is that through like Chartable? Like as far as
I don't know what is Chartable. What's that?
I think it's a platform that you get to track your where your show ranks.
You just Google it.
Oh,
I go by Google. Like if you Google
That's
#1
right, yeah.
podcast real estate investor Brian Davila, we're the first thing that comes up.
I go off CNN.
Okay.
No, I'm joking.
All right.
I get all my news from CNN.
Okay. I get mine from TikTok and whatever I just make up.
Oh my God.
There you go.
Wow.
But
Okay.
for investors that don't know who you are,
Yeah.
what have you done in real estate?
Here, why don't we start here? Okay, what's very popular these days?
Everything.
National wholesaling.
Oh, okay. That's the name of your company. Is it still?
It used to be NCL, but now it's Property.
Okay.
Right? But again, back in 2016,
Yeah, I remember.
I was
that.
about 8 years ahead of a lot of other people, right? I was doing national wholesaling.
Yeah.
Vegas was my first virtual market, actually, from Phoenix, right? What else is out there these days that a lot of the kids are doing? Let's see.
Facebook.
Facebook. I've been doing that for a while.
Yeah. PPC.
Cold calling.
Yeah.
Right. I've been doing that for about 8 years, 9 years. I was text blasting in 17. People didn't really catch that wave till about 19. Right. What else are the kids doing these days that a lot of people are doing? I'm just joking. Again, what I'm trying to say is, right, what we brought to the table was more like the business aspect of real estate wholesaling, right? And obviously, we started real estate wholesaling. We did that for like 4 years before we started flipping, and then we started flipping, and then we started wholesaling and flipping, and that became very fruitful. That was amazing. And then we got caught with our pants down the third quarter of 2022. We had 15 flips throughout. That's another thing we were doing. We were virtually flipping. So not only we were virtually wholesaling, our systems and processes were so dialed in. We were flipping houses in other states. So we were flipping houses here in Vegas. One of our agents here, his name was Jason Griggs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you can ask him. He was listing a lot of our stuff here,
Okay.
So we were flipping in Vegas, we were flipping in Cali, we were flipping in Texas, you know what I mean? Virtually house flipping. Right? So anyway, I got caught in the third quarter of 2022. I had 15 listings throughout Vegas, Arizona, and California. And I ended up selling, by July of 2023, I ended up selling about 23% below the original listing price. So in most of these, I would say about 80 to 90% of these flips, I had to come to the closing table with the check.
Yeah.
So that was tough, right? That wasn't the toughest part. The toughest part was, yes, I had to come to the closing table with a check to sell a house, but I also had to pay my multiple 6-figure private money interest on the other side. So that was a really tough time for me. But praise God, I made every payment and sold every house. And that was probably one of the biggest financial storms that I ever got caught in.
Yeah.
So now, with what's going on in the market right now, I'm just virtually wholesaling everywhere.
Everywhere. All markets.
No, not all markets.
Yeah, but a lot of markets.
But in a lot of, like, why would you try to virtually wholesale a property in North Dakota. You know what I mean? I'm not in all markets. You know? But a lot of them.
Yeah. How many wholesale deals do you think you've done in your career? And then how many wholesale deals are you guys doing a month right now?
So here's the real stats, because a lot of influencers, a lot of coaches, educators, sales guys, everybody inflates their, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you that as of 2023, the last time Sal and I actually counted, we were well over like 1,100.
Dang.
Right?
Yeah.
That was like February of 2023 when the last time that him and I sat down and went through, by the way, this is transactions.
Yeah.
This is flipping and wholesaling, right? So just so you don't think that I'm trying to say one thing, right? One linear thing. Right now, this is what happened. So remember, we got caught up in this little storm.
Yeah.
And I was like resentful towards real estate. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go, now that I've learned the game of business at a very high level, I'm going to go and try to play the private equity game.
I remember that.
I made a huge mistake, and I'll tell you why. So I got caught up in the Brandon Dawson, Grant Cardone Ventures.
Yeah.
Shiny syndrome.
Yeah.
Right? Shiny object syndrome.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm going to go and get equity. Now that most of these people don't know what they're doing, all the $1 to $5 million companies in the country, right? They don't have a clue of how to actually run a business, right? They don't know systems and processes. They don't have, they haven't departmentalized. They don't know anything much about marketing. They don't build out sales teams. They don't build out leadership leadership in the company. They don't live by and die by their core values. They don't know how to create a culture. So I'm like, I'm going to use everything I've learned, right? And I'm going to go into these small companies, roofing companies, HVAC companies, pool companies, landscaping companies, construction companies, solar companies, and I'm going to start getting equity in these companies. That's what I'm going to do. I'm either going to do the CFE, which is consult for equity, or I'm going to buy equity right into the company. But I'm going to start to get into the private equity space at a very massive level, like the Cardone folks are doing, right?
Yeah.
So I started doing a little bit of that, and successfully, like the biggest acquisition we have is our solar company, which is, it used to be called Zealous Energy. Now it's called Powervana, right? Because we rebranded the company. That was our biggest acquisitions. And we were going to begin to get into like the roofing, equity in roofing, equity in landscaping. And then we ended up realizing that it's 10 times the work for the same or less net profitabilit in these trade, right? The trades, the plumbing and the
roofing,
right?
and all.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what, man, this is a tough racket, right? I'm like, I want to do private equity. Well, why don't I just go back to real estate and do private equity? Which is what Property is. Property has over 60 partners.
Interesting.
That we have equity in across the country, right? So then I kind of did the Hormozy. If you think about the Hormozy private equity concept, where does he do private equity in?
No idea.
Gyms.
Oh, yeah.
What's his background? Gyms. Well, what's my background?
Real estate,
right?
Yeah.
Well, I was trying to do private equity in like all these other spaces, right? And then I ended up back into what I know, which is real estate, and we're booming.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what, since I have come back and fully committed back to real estate, right? Just in like internally, I'll give you the next 3 to 6 months of what that looks like. We had our quarterly meeting 2 weeks ago. We went up to Sedona. We did an offsite quarterly meeting, right?
Okay.
And our goal next year is $10.2 million in gross revenue, not sales, not real estate sales. That could be, multiple, whatever. $10.2 million in gross revenue, all the way through, private equity wise, like internal and external, partners and in our own operation, right? That's going to be fun to try to get there. This year, we're already going to finish just this month about 40 deals. By the way, I want you to know that over the last 3 months, right? Property's been around for like 10 months. Okay. And it was tough.
Yeah.
Like it was tough. Like early on, it was tough to like, okay, what's the market doing? The market, the market shifted, the market changed, right? And it was tough to build out systems and processes, right, for a new company. You know what I mean? Like it takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. It just takes time, right? And that was tough. But once we got it dialed in now over the past 3 months, it's been fireworks.
Okay.
Like I said, it's been fireworks. It's like, oh my God, okay, now we're headed in the right direction. 20 deals, 30 deals, 40 deals, right? Next month will probably be between 50 and 60 deals. Within the next 3 to 6 months, I think we will be acquiring 100 contracts or 100 deals per month consistently in the next 3 to 6 months.
Dang.
That's through internal and through the partners.
What is your internal team going to do?
We have 6 acquisition managers. We have 3 disposition managers, 2 TCs, transaction coordinators, 1 sales director, and then a director of development, which is Adrian. He kind of sits at the top, right? And then Max is running the whole sales side. Max Jimenez, he's running all the sales side, and then Ryan Overcash is running all the dispo side. So we're putting together like the Avengers of real estate.
Got it. And the goal is to build that up to a $10 million a year company.
Yes.
What's the most you've made a year in real estate?
Real estate wholesaling, I think 2021 was probably one of our better years. I think we were north of six mil.
6
And that's just real estate wholesaling and flipping.
Yeah.
Right? In my opinion, now that I've been around the game for a while, brother, the fact of the matter is, if you are a great real estate investor, right? If you're dialed in, you'll be between $3 and $7 million in gross revenue with like a 35 to 42% net profitability. The only way that that's going to change is if you begin to build out something much bigger than your conventional kind of, real estate operation, where you go big instead of having 3 to 5 acquisition guys. Now you got, 10 to 20, what I mean? Now you got departments, now you got hiring and onboarding processes, you got to build it out like a big company, like a 9-figure company would build out a company.
Yeah.
That's the only way that you're going to exceed north of 8 figures, which is 10 mil plus.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So goal of this podcast, I want first to break down in how someone could build a 7-figure company. So they're making $100K a month or more. And then how to build a $5 million company. Okay. So what does a $1 million wholesale operation look like?
Okay. What market?
Let's say.
See, so it varies per market, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to take more units in Alabama as opposed to California.
What's the easiest?
Okay. What's an easy market out there? Let's just say.
Easiest way to make $1 million wholesaling.
Okay. We'll take North Carolina.
Oh.
Right. We'll take North Carolina.
Oh, that's okay. I was thinking South Carolina is illegal.
No.
North.
We'll take North Carolina.
Okay, got it.
We'll take North Carolina. Let's pull out the phone, right?
Okay, we're pulling out the calculators, guys.
So let's say that your average deal, like your average deal size out there is about $25,000. You know what? Let's just say $21,000, all right? Okay. So if you're doing, and this is straight wholesale.
Yeah.
Let's just say your average deal size is $21,000. You're trying to make $1 million.
That's 48.
48 deals. 48 deals, right? Okay, so 48 deals a year. 48 divided by 12 is what?
4.
That's 4 deals a month for $21,000. In my opinion, come on now. That's very, very easy to do.
Okay.
Let's break it down even a little farther, right?
Yeah.
How many acquisition reps do you need to do 4 deals a month?
1 to 2.
1 to 2, right? 1 to 2, depending on their ability to convert, right?
Yeah.
Okay, how many disposition people do you need to sell 4 deals a month?
Say 1.
1, right? How many transaction coordinators do you need to transact 4 deals a month?
1.
1, if that. You know what I mean, right? You see, like, that's a very, in essence, it's a very small operation if you think about it, right?
Yeah.
To do 4 deals a month, 48 deals in a year for $1 million in gross revenue, right? It doesn't take a massive team, What are you going to spend to do $1 million?
Yeah, that's the next thing people are going to
What are you going to spend to do $1 million? Well, it depends. If you are doing straight cold calling, right? Your conversion, if you're like bad at conversion, you'll probably be at 55 leads for every contract. If you're pretty good at converting cold, this is just cold calling, right? You'll probably be about 30. Okay. So let's just say you're somewhere in the middle. You're about 43. Every 43 cold call leads, you're getting a contract. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Let's just say that your cost per lead is about $35. 35 times 43. It's taking you $1,505 to get a deal.
Okay.
And it's taking you 43. It's taking you 43 leads to get a deal.
Yep.
That's that equates to $1,505 cost per deal.
Yes.
Right. Your 43 leads is about, like I said, it's about $35 cost per lead. So if you're making $21,000, right, and it's taking you $1,505, I mean your return on investment is about seven times.
Okay.
Right. Well, actually, it's 1,500. You're at 21,000 divided by 1,505. No, it's about 14x.
Yeah.
14x.
Yeah.
Apologize.
So you're spending about $6,000 to make about $80,000
To get 4 deals, 21K. Yeah.
But
By the way, are you still with us? Did we lose you? Did we lose you? Right? Did we lose any? Everybody's still listening. Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
This is for the audience, right? It's like, no, I'm talking to the audience right now. It's like, are you still with us, right?
Yeah.
All right. $21,000. That's what you're making. That's your average deal size. You're spending 35. If you're just doing cold calling, you're spending $35
a lead.
Cost per lead. It's taking you 43 leads to get a contract, which is $1,505 cost per deal.
Yeah.
Right. So that those are your KPIs. Those are your key performance indicators.
Yeah. Okay. But let's say that $35 a lead, when you multiply it by 4 deals, that comes out to $6,020 a month in spend.
Yeah. Okay.
That sounds low though.
1,505.
Yeah. Times 4. And it really has to be like 6.
That's 6,000. I mean, but remember, if you're, again, in a market like that, if you're getting 13, 14 return on investment on your marketing, that's what it is. If you think about 6,000 times even 13, right? You're making $78,260, which you said, close to 80.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the math.
But what about, number one, can you actually do marketing for that cheap? Because $6,000, I don't know how much data and stuff that is, and cold callers, dialers, all that stuff.
By the way, the $6,000, that again, that's what you're spending to get these 4 deals, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you have to get 6 because you're gonna have fallout.
Oh. No, so if you're here, let's get even deeper. If your cancellation ratio is 30%, right? Okay, so then you actually have to get
like
7. Would you say 7? Times 30. What is it? 7 times 0.30. So you're losing about 2.1.
Yeah.
So you're around there, right?
Yeah, like 6 to 7 deals.
Yeah. So you do have to contract more because you expect to lose 30% of your deal. So all right. So you do get,
so you need to spend about $10,000.
That makes more sense.
Yeah. Okay, so let's just say someone's listening to this and they're like, okay, $10,000 a month in marketing
to get 80,000.
Yeah.
So for every dollar you're getting back 8.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, who wouldn't? It's if there's an ATM machine that you can put $1 into and it's going to spit 8 back out, wouldn't you put the $1 in?
Yeah.
That's marketing, by the way. That's what people have to understand. Marketing is an investment.
Yeah.
Right. It's an investment, not an expense. People always think like, oh man, I'm going to spend $10,535 on marketing. Okay, but what are you going to make?
Yeah.
What is your expected return on that investment, right?
Got it.
Yeah.
So that's about $10,000 a month in marketing spend for just cold calling.
Yep.
Let's say someone is listening to this and they have $10,000 and they're willing to invest it into cold calling. How does that split up between dialer, data, and actual callers?
Here,
we're getting into the weeds.
I got you. So, you have to produce Wow, I love what we're doing here because now, I love this. This is going to be actually like a whole lesson.
Yes, this is
like a KPI
real
lesson,
estate.
right?
Yes.
Ready? So, okay, your average cold caller is going to get you, let's say, 3 leads a day.
Okay.
Okay. How many leads do you need to convert 7 deals, right?
Yeah. You said 43.
You need 301 leads.
Okay.
You need 301 leads.
Okay, how you get there? So the listeners hear this.
I need 301. Remember, for every 43 leads, I'm getting a deal.
Yeah.
Well, I need 43 times 7 to get 7 contracts.
Yeah, so that's 301.
301, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, bro, you're really going deep on this.
I like it. Bro, I want this to be the #1 tactical real estate podcast ever.
Well, then let's get into the weeds, right? Okay.
Subscribe.
So,
okay, go ahead.
To produce 301 leads per month, right? If my cold caller is producing 3 leads per day, and he's working 45 hours, let's just say he's working 5 days a week. 3 times 5, he's one cold caller is getting you 15. Right? So 301 divided by 15. No, you can't. There's no way you need 20 cold callers to produce 300.
No, because you're doing weekly. So that's 15 leads times 4 is 60.
That was
monthly.
50. He's doing 15 per week times 4, right? 15 times 4, 60. There you go. 301 divided by 60. You need 5 cold callers to produce 301 leads, right? If your conversion is 43 leads for every contract that you're getting, right? At that point, just on the marketing aspect of it, you're spending. Well, let's calculate data.
Well, how much should someone spend for 5 cold callers?
Let's just say 5 cold callers times 550 an hour, right? If they're solid, like if you want to go to the Philippines and just get folks that can barely speak English, then you can spend like 3 or 4, right? So 5 times 5.50, 27, 5 point times 5 cold call, times 45 hours a week, times 4 weeks, they're spending $4,950 in payroll or labor for these cold callers.
Yep, that's what I got too.
Got it.
So that's $5,000 is what it should cost for the cold callers. And then data, what do you think?
So that's why I like to separate the data from the actual marketing expense, right? Let me tell you why. Because that same data I can use to what? I can use it to do direct mail. I can use it to text blast, right? I can use it for other things. You know what I mean? Right? So I like to kind of separate that as a different expense, right? A lot of people do include it as part of they blend it into their overall marketing expense. In this case, we're just going to separate it for now, okay? 1 cent to pull a record. Okay?
1 cent to pull a record?
6 cents to skip.
Oh, okay.
So 7 cents is what you're spending to skip. Okay, you got 5 cold callers. You know how many records you're going to need per month to reach your full potential when it comes to the lead generation side on the cold calling?
I would say you need all the records.
No.
You need at least 100,000.
You're going to need 10,000 records per caller per month. So that's 50,000. So 50,000 times 0.07.
That's 50 records. That's not 50.
That's 50,000, 50.
Yeah, that's 50,000 records, not 50,000.
That's $50,000, 50,000 records pulled and skip trace. That's $3,500 in data expenses. Data expenses.
Okay.
By the way, we're getting surgical right now, aren't we?
Yeah.
See, when was the last time with all humility, I'm going to say this because it's not about me, but when was the last time you put an investor up here that's able to break it down to this degree?
Not the small details.
Got it.
They're like, 4 deals a month, like that. Like
no. Bro, ask me any KPI and I'll get into the weeds.
I love it.
You see what I'm saying? Very few people. That's what I'm trying to tell you is that unfortunately, like a lot of wholesale companies, they don't measure their business to this level. You know what I mean? Like, they might even track a couple of KPIs, but do they review, in a monthly on a monthly basis, do they review their cash flow statement? Do they review their P&Ls, their profit and losses? Do they review their balance sheets, right? Do they run forecasting, projecting on, how they're going to get to their target that they're projecting for that year? You know what I mean? Do they reverse engineer that target by month and then by week? A lot of people don't run their operation this way.
Yeah.
They don't. And most people will never be able to.
Yeah.
Because most people they don't spend the necessary time developing their business acumen. You know what I mean? That's why 97% of businesses, like SMB, small to mid-sized businesses, they don't make it to their 10th year. 97%.
Yeah.
97, look it up, Google it, right? How many what is the failure rate of a business by the 10th year? It's 97%. Because people aren't not willing to do the granular, intricate things that it takes for you to actually be able to have like a grip, right? To measure your business, to have a pulse on your business. The only way that your business communicates to you is how? Numbers.
Yeah.
It doesn't speak AI. It's numbers. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, oh man, how come I'm not converting deals this month? Okay, well, let me look at the numbers. All right, am I getting enough leads? Yeah, I'm getting. My lead gen is good. Okay, what's my conversion ratio? Oh man, we're really low on our conversion ratio. It's taking us way too many leads to convert a deal. Okay, let's talk to my acquisition managers and why they're having a tough time. Right, let's spend a little more time training the acquisition reps so that we can drive down that conversion ratio or increase the conversion ratio. So.
Okay. So that was $10,000. That was everything someone would need to do $1 million a year just cold calling, or even any comparable type of marketing.
It varies per market.
Yeah.
Again, there's other marketing strategies out there, right? Like my favorite marketing strategies right now in this order is Google AdWords campaigns, aka pay-per-click, right? PPC, pay-per-click. That's number one. Cold calling is number two. PPL, which is pay per lead, that's number three. And you can get pay per lead through multiple lead generating companies that are out there in the real estate space, right? Some are going to be much better than others, the quality, right? And then make sure that they're being ethical and they're not selling that same lead to you, and you, everybody and their mom, right? So make sure that lead is exclusive. But those are my top three channels. And if I had to add a fourth channel, it would be Facebook.
Got it.
And then fifth would be direct mail.
Okay.
In that order. So what order do I strongly encourage real estate investors out there as far as where to put their marketing dollars at? Well, I can't, this is my own because my acquisition guys are highly trained. But if you still need a lot more reps, you go cold calling first because you're going to generate more leads. Remember, if you're going digital, you're not going to have a lot of leads to take, to take reps, right?
Yeah.
But if you go cold calling, you're going to get a stupid amount of leads at a low cost per lead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in that order, if you're trained and you think you're a good closer, you go Google AdWords campaigns, aka pay-per-click. Then you go cold calling, right? And then you go PPL. And then a fourth would be Facebook, and the fifth would be direct mail.
Got it. Okay, so that was marketing. I feel like we covered every little thing on marketing. Was there anything we missed, you think? Oh, what about time from lead hitting your system? I don't know if that's more of a sales question.
Yeah. No, I can give it to you.
Yeah.
For cold calling and pay-per-click.
Yeah.
Right. So it's about 63 days. Cold calling is a pipeline game.
Yeah.
So it's about 63 days from the time the lead is born to the time the lead is contracted. It's about 63 days.
Got it.
Okay. So cold calling is a pipeline game. Don't expect, it's called cold calling for a reason. You're going to get cold leads, right? Don't expect to hit home runs on the first call, right? Most of these calls are going to come from, most of these deals in your cold call pipeline, they're going to come from following up, which is about 8 to 12 touches, and that's why it takes about 63 days. Every now and then you run into some home runs where the first call, second or third call, it's ready to go and ready to convert. But that's why, again, temperature wise, the hottest leads are going to come inbound, not outbound. Inbound would be Google AdWords campaigns, aka pay-per-click, right?
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? Let me ask you that.
Okay.
I'm going to turn it around on you,
okay.
right?
Oh shit. Oh, I'm sorry.
Why do you think pay-per-click leads are going to be your hottest leads?
I'm going to guess because that person is searching how to sell their house, and then they are choosing to call someone and get an offer on their house.
So imagine this, right?
Wait, was I right?
Right. Imagine this. You're right, by the way. You're absolutely right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Imagine this, right? So a person that wants to sell their house,
Yes.
right? And it's the right avatar.
Yep.
Right. Because this person is literally going to Google and he or she is typing, need to sell my house fast for cash. Okay. Boom. Right. Here comes the ads. Right. Here comes the ads. Right, that's what's called pay-per-click. They click on your ad. Normally, if it's a top three ad, the highest conversion between those 3 ads, it's going to be number 1 or number 2. Right, like last year, our average positioning was 2.1, and that converted very well. 2.1 was average positioning. So your position up top, 1, 2, 3, or at the bottom, 1, 2, 3. Right, and then there's everything that's organic in between, which is search engine optimization. Right, are you still with me? All right. Anyway, let's give it. I keep messing around just to make sure people are still with us because I do love to get surgical with this,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
So
There we
okay,
go.
great. All right. So now they're going to click on your ad. Remember, they typed in, "I need to sell my house fast for cash." Boom. Google caught it. Now your ad is right on their face. They click on your ad. How much do you think that costs? Right when they click?
I'm gonna guess $300 to $500.
No.
What?
No.
No?
It's in most cases it's about $30 to $50 for the click.
Oh, okay. I'm
Just to
talking
click.
about the
All right,
I'm
so
talking
here,
about the
right?
lead.
So now, boom, they clicked your ad.
Yeah.
Okay. And then now, they clicked your ad. Your account just got hit for $30 to $50, depending on where you are.
Yeah.
All right. Now they're on your page, aka
Yeah.
your lander.
Yeah.
Right.
Lander.
Now, how well is your lander optimized to convert?
Yeah.
You get it? Aesthetically, messaging, right?
Yeah.
Who you are, what you do, how you do it, how you can help them, all that. That has to be like on mine. If you go to property, it says, we want to buy your house, right? America's friendliest home buyer. It's just like people need to know, right? It's like who you are, what
you American?
do, how you do it, how you can do it for them, right?
Yeah.
So then once they identify that on your page, that's why it has to be optimized to convert, right? All they got, again, the lead is only going to come into your CRM in 2 different ways. All right. A web form or by clicking a button that calls your company directly. So they're either going to enter their information on that lander.
Yeah.
If they like what they saw, if they like your messaging, your visuals, aesthetically, all that, or they're going to click on the button, it's going to directly call one of your acquisition guys.
Yeah.
Now, that right there, my friend, costs you, anywhere from
$500.
$80 to $400 or $500, depending on where you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like $80 if you're in Alabama, $250 or $250 to like $350 if you're in California. So it all varies.
Do you think higher? Because I feel like cost per lead, that's what I was saying, the $300 to $500 is going up.
If you are extremely targeted, it's always going to be more expensive. But if you go, the broader you get, the cheaper it's going to get. Not only that, but you got to give your campaign enough time to optimize itself.
Yeah.
Right? Google wants to help you, or else you're not going to be spending any money with them. Right? It just takes a little bit of time and that's why you got to constantly be talking back and forth to Google, letting them know what you like and what you don't like. You know what I mean? And eventually your campaign begins to become more optimized and your cost per lead will go down. And that's why also some things that help your cost per lead is going to be like organic, or doing things organically through social media and search engine optimization.
Okay. What about with PPC? What's the conversion cycle? I think you said 63
I love that
days.
one.
Yeah.
Normally, like if you're very extremely niche and targeted, right? If you're a really good acquisition guy, brother, you're between 8 and 12 leads to convert into one contract, right? So, and by the way, it's funny because people always think that PPC is like this huge, like very expensive marketing stream, right? Or marketing channel. And let's do some math. Right?
Got my calculator out.
Ready?
Yeah.
So what was our cost per deal with cold calling?
1,500.
1505, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's just say that I'm in Alabama.
Okay.
It's taking me 10 leads to get a contract. And my average cost per lead is $90. What is my cost per deal then?
You said $90.
$90 times 10. It's taking me 10 leads to get a contract.
That is a total of $900.
Okay.
But I think no one lives in Alabama. And I think
Alabama is actually a pretty hot market right now. It is like Birmingham, right?
But
these metropolitan areas
Yeah.
are pretty hot right now. Actually,
But I
you know
think
why it's hot?
Why? People are moving there. Jobs.
Yes and no. I mean, you
Yeah.
always want to look for like micro and macro trends,
Yeah.
but that's not entirely the reason. I'll tell you why a market like Alabama is hot. I'll tell you why a market like North Carolina is hot. Affordable housing.
Yeah, it's affordable.
See, when everything is $500,000 or more in a lot of different cities, right?
Yeah.
Alabama, North Carolina, San
Oklahoma.
Antonio, you can still afford it. It's like, $350 and below, or sometimes if it's a little higher, $450,000 and below, right? Alabama, I mean, for $250,000 to $350,000, you're getting a nice house.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why that market is still kind of moving, because it's still affordable.
Yeah. But I think $90 for a PPC lead, even in Alabama, is still low, honestly.
I don't think so.
Who is Real Estate Diddy in Alabama?
He's in Alabama.
Call him right now. Let's go, baby! And just so you guys know, first of all, subscribe to this channel. And for people that don't know Carlos Reyes, I got to show him some love. He's built up so many multi-millionaire real estate investors. The Tiffany Highs, the Real Estate Diddies, the list goes on and on and on. Donovan Ruffin,
Eric Kleins,
Eric
Terry
Klein.
Summers, Austin Rutherford. I mean, there's
He helped me out. I started wholesaling because of him.
You were just a flipper, right?
Yeah, I was just a flipper.
2019, you came to,
Yeah.
He didn't answer. What's wrong with this guy?
Bro, they have no respect for the OGs.
Let me call my marketing guy.
Okay. Ooh.
Right.
This is the best tactical real estate podcast
So
we've done.
Dartanius, he's in-house marketing for us.
Okay.
Because we have our marketing department, right?
Is that a company name or that's his name?
No, his name is Dartanius.
Damn.
He's like a Three Musketeer type.
Where is he from?
He I don't know. We got him out of the Air Force. He's he's a digital
is a
marketer.
sick name. That's like a
What's
type
today?
of iron
Saturday?
or something like that.
People aren't answering the phone.
I know. Oh yeah, it is Saturday night.
Huh?
Yeah.
St. Louis. He's out of St. Louis.
Oh, he's out of
No,
St.
I want him to answer his phone. Right. I need to know what the cost per lead, the pay-per-click cost per lead in Alabama is.
Yeah. We'll figure it out.
That's what I need.
We'll throw it up. You text it to me later and we'll.
All right.
But anyway.
I'm saying $90.
Yeah. Okay. Phone's going off. Okay. So we went over marketing. Mm-hmm. And then from lead hitting your system to getting it under contract.
About 63 days for cold calling.
Yeah.
For PPC, it's about 21 days.
Okay. So
it's a lot quicker.
It's half. Okay. What about Facebook?
Facebook is still, like I said, I rank that. It's still hot. The conversion, the time span of conversion is still better than cold calling, right? But it's not as good as PPC. I think you're probably between 27 and 33 days, which is still fairly fast, as far as Facebook. But again, in my opinion, Facebook leads for the most part, they're almost costing, as far as cost per lead, just as much as Google AdWords, like Google PPC, right? So so that's why it's like, okay, at the end of the day, again, the numbers tell a story, right?
Yeah.
So you got to say, okay, I'm spending this amount of money on Facebook, and I'm getting this amount of leads. This is my cost per lead. This is my lead to contract conversion ratio, right? This is my cost per deal, and this is my average deal size with Facebook. You run those same metrics with Google, and then you just decide where you're going to spend your money.
Got it.
How much you're going to allocate to each channel.
What do you think is like a good cost per lead for Facebook? And I guess it's going to vary per market.
So again, we are in multiple markets, and we're around $82 cost per lead.
Okay.
Ideally, I would like to be around 65.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you think it's better for someone who's trying to build a 7-figure wholesale operation to try to stick to one market or open it up to the nation or like a handful of markets?
That's a good question.
Thank you.
I feel like right now, brother, if your skill set allows it and you can do virtual, I would go virtual all day.
Why?
You're casting a bigger net. You're casting a bigger net. You know what I mean? You're going wide, right? You're in different markets, and plus, it's like example, right? Like if you're in Cali, it's not easy to get deals in Cali, and your cost per deal there is probably pretty expensive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're probably talking $5,000 to $6,000 to get a deal there in Cali. But obviously, the return on the deals are pretty crazy too, right?
Yeah.
Personally, like I said, you're talking to a guy that's been nationally, virtually wholesaling since 2016. So I'm going to be very biased to the national virtual campaign.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I have, I started in my own backyard. I did that for 3 years.
Yeah.
And at that point, especially if you don't really have a huge budget, remember your cost per lead, you said PPC, right? Did you say PPC or just
Facebook,
general?
or just in general?
General wholesaling?
Yeah.
Right? In my opinion, your cost per lead, depending on the market that you're in your own backyard, it's always going to be more expensive. So economically, right, financially, it makes more sense to cast a bigger net so that you can reduce your cost per lead and so that you can actually have access to more leads. That way you have more swings.
Okay. What about, okay, we covered everything for marketing. Let's talk about sales now. So what are KPIs that people should look at on their sales side or their acquisition team?
Some of them that are very, very important, in my opinion, talk time, right? Dials, talk time, offers made, and then conversion. Those are some of the ones that I really like to look into consistently, right? It's like, okay, how many dials are they making a day?
Okay.
What's their talk time? 2 hours, 3 hours, right?
Yeah.
How many offers are they, if they spoke to 15 people, how many offers did they make? Personally, you probably should be at least 5 offers. You want to send out at least, and I consider an offer range an offer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't have to give them a specific offer. Give them an offer range, right? Give them anywhere from 60% all the way to 90% of whatever their after repair value is.
Yeah.
Just to give them an offer range, but just make an offer, take a shot, right? Let them know you're serious. So those are some of the metrics that I would strongly encourage people to look into.
I want to know the metrics on I think it's your brother-in-law, right?
Yeah.
Adrian?
Yeah.
Who might be the best acquisition guy in the country, but I don't think he's doing it.
He won it. He won the Closers Olympics, right? Back in 2020. The first year. And then he didn't compete anymore.
Oh, really?
He didn't, we told him, like, dude, just walk away. Walk off in the sunset.
Give it to RJ.
You proved, he beat RJ.
Did he?
Yeah.
How does RJ have 2 belts?
Because he won the following year and the following year.
Oh,
right?
Okay. So Adrian has some belts.
Adrian had the first belt, and he beat all the big dogs.
Oh, really?
And I know it sounds biased, and I'm like, yo, yes.
He's like the Packers. He's like the original champion.
He beat RJ Bates.
Yeah.
He beat Steve Trang.
Oh.
He beat Keith Everett.
Oh.
He beat Nick Levino. He beat Steven Morales. He beat Q Flores.
Okay.
He beat Aaron Bevins. You see, the cream of the crop competed the first year.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He beat all of them.
Oh, okay.
The first Closer Olympics, he beat Andy Garcia. Andy, the Wolf of Real Estate, one of the guys that we used to work with, right? That guy's a monster. That guy, his conversion is probably ridiculous. So, again, I've seen some pretty damn good conversion ratios for Adrian.
Exactly. So I want to compare Adrian.
That way you know if you have an A player.
Yeah. Well,
you want to know what an A player does and what a B, like what a
but
B
an
player?
average, like the guy that's good. He's on the team, but he's not number one. Like,
is he an A player, B player, or C player?
Yeah.
You tell me. Is this acquisition manager an A player, a B player, or a C player?
Let's go B. Let's just go B.
Okay, if he's a B player, okay, then it's taking him about, let's go pay-per-click.
Yeah.
All right, it's taking him about 12 leads to convert a deal.
Okay.
Right? Cold call is taking him about 35.
Okay.
To convert a contract in cold calling.
Okay.
Right, so you got 12 and 35.
Yeah. What was Adrian doing?
Let's go an A player.
Yeah.
Adrian was between 6 and 8 PPC to convert a deal.
Damn.
And he was between 23 and 27 cold call to convert a deal. That's what an A acquisition guy. See, a lot of people in the space, right? They're like, oh, I'm an A player. I'm an A player. No, I don't want to hear what you think of yourself, right?
Yeah.
Let me look at the numbers, and then I'll tell you what kind of a player you are.
Yeah.
You know,
And how many leads are you burning through?
Exactly. Everybody thinks they're A players, right?
Yeah.
Oh, he looked up, right? So we just went through. Let me tell you why he looked up.
Oh boy.
Because we were on the plane,
Okay.
and this other guy that's he's in the software space, right?
Okay.
He goes, yeah, we were talking about A players and B players and C players in the company, right? And then I go, there's only one way to identify if a team member is in fact an A player, B player, or C player, right? What is that one way? There's only one way.
Yeah.
A performance evaluation review. See, a lot of people in your organization, they think very highly of themselves.
That's so funny that you just said that. That's so funny that you just said that.
You know why I know you're laughing?
Yeah.
Because it's true.
Oh yeah, always.
Right? I don't do the, well, I think he or she's a good team member, or I feel like he or she, no. You know the way I measure you?
How?
Well, I measure you through a performance evaluation review in 7 different categories.
Okay.
And then you score between a 1 and a 4. And at the end of the bottom there, what is your final score?
Yeah.
It's a blended, right? It's a blended ratio, or blended rate. So I'll give you an example, right? Like our first category is punctuality and attendance.
Okay. So what does that mean? Like, are they using?
Do you show up on time, and do you call in frequently? You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Right. So let's just say at the end of it, right? It's 1 to 4.
Okay.
Matt, what did you score on punctuality and attendance? You got a 3.
Damn, Matt.
So let's just say Matt, and then there's another one like teamwork, right?
Okay.
Teamwork, adaptability, right? What's another one, Matt?
Okay, so there's teamwork, adaptability.
There's 7 of them.
Punctuality. Organization.
Are you sure organization? No, I don't think organization was one of them.
Are they organized?
Do you remember? It's 7 categories. I can send you the 7 categories that our company does, right? Well, if let's just say that you score a 3 in a punctuality and attendance, right? And then you score a 2 in adaptability, right? And then you score a 3 on teamwork. And by the end of the day, let's just say you go, all right, you go 3 plus 2 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 plus 3 plus 4. You score a 22, right? You divide that, 22 divided by 7, you are a 3.14. So that means you are in fact a B player. You're right there though.
Yeah.
Anything 3.5 and above, you're leaning towards an A player, right? I'm not going to give you his score, but this is how the conversation went. Watch this.
Oh, so he was telling you he was an A player.
He was.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
On the plane.
Bro, I get that all day.
I'm like, really? What did your performance evaluation review say? He's like, oh, it says I'm a B player. I was like, you're right. And it exposed the areas that you need to improve in.
Okay.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah. So now we know the areas that he needs to improve in to get him to be an A player.
Yeah.
Or as of right now, don't tell me you're an A player if your performance evaluation review doesn't tell me you're an A player.
Please send that to me.
So the way the way that I review my team members, right?
Yeah.
Again, it's a performance. I line them up. I measure them against their performance evaluation review, and then also what boxes do they check off with our core values?
Okay.
See, I don't hire and fire based off like me thinking you're a good employee, or I feel like you're a good employee. No, for me, it's all data.
Yeah.
It's black and white.
Okay, on those 7 things that you look for.
You want a performance evaluation review? You want one?
Yeah, I want to give her one. Yeah, if we had it, we could do it.
Okay.
But on those 7 things, Are you just looking at the final score, or are there some things that you care more about? Like if someone's late?
No, I got to try to pull up these areas, bro, because I care about all of them.
Yeah.
Almost equally.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's try to pull it up. We could just go to commercial, talk about Matt.
Ready?
Yeah. Okay.
Dependability was one of them.
Ooh.
Right? Adaptability, teamwork. Ooh, attitude was one of them.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a good guy.
Hello. Productivity was one of them.
Okay.
See, now we're getting performance and results was okay. See, now we're getting into it, right? You see what I'm saying?
This is some really good stuff.
Oh, yeah. Well, I come from the corporate world, right? So I want to run my company, right? So I help in my corporate life. I helped the company go from when I entered that company, $6 million in annual revenue.
Yeah.
By the time I left, which was about 12 years later, we were doing about $48 million in gross revenue, right?
Yeah.
I started there as a shift manager, and I worked my way all the way up right below like the VP, the vice president. You know what I mean? I was doing like district management. You know what I mean? So I saw this thing get built from the ground up. I saw them put systems and processes together, SOPs, right? Employee handbook, you know what I mean? All kinds of different processes and organization to build their way up to a $50 million annual revenue company.
Yeah.
So I already have the blueprint to build the $50 million in annual revenue company. Hence, that's why my people have performance evaluation reviews, right? That's why we have management, middle management, upper management, you know what I mean? C-suites, right? And then which is me and Sal, which now we're considered founders, not CEOs, right? Or owners, founders. We founded all these different companies, right? We started these companies. I'll give you like C-suite wise, we've had a COO in the past. We've had a CEO in the past, right? And then upper management, like is most of like your directors, right? Excuse me, like we have a sales director. And then upper management also would consist of like we have an operations manager, you know what I mean? So we have a media manager, right? So that's your upper management. So then you can even go below that and have like let's just take a sales department, right? You're gonna have a sales director, you're gonna have a sales manager, you're gonna have a sales leader. Does that make sense? Right? So you see the the hierarchy and the ladder, right? These are things that a lot of companies just don't want to work on. It's hard. It's hard, right? It's hard to like keep moving these different components, and structuring, right? It's all about structure. You know what I mean? And it's taken us like 10 years to build a really solid structure. And guess what? No company is ever 100%. Like I would believe that we're probably about 85. Would you say about we're 85 to 90%, Matt, in our company, right? Our structure, departments, leadership, core values, everything. Like we have a human resources department. Do you have a human resources department?
We do.
Okay.
Her name's Nilsa.
Talk to me about your hire. I'm going to put him on the hot seat.
Oh shit. Okay.
Talk to me about your hiring process. What does that look like?
Okay, hiring process. So we post on Indeed. I post on social media. That's how we're getting applicants.
Who posts on Indeed?
Like my manager. Yeah. Who? Like our I would call him my COO. So we have two. So we have Wealthy Investor and then my real estate company. So
Let's talk about Wealthy Investor.
Okay, Wealthy Investor, Nilsa or our COO.
What is her late? What does she do? What's her position?
She's HR.
Got it. Okay, so she's HR.
Yeah.
Okay, so she posts on Indeed.
Yeah.
Okay, and then she
runs
an ad.
Puts a
good amount of money towards that. Got it.
It also depends on the role. So if it's a high level role, our COO Javi will actually go recruiting. So he'll post a job ad, and then he'll go. Let's say we're looking for a copywriter, right? He'll go on Indeed or whatever those websites are, and he looks up copywriters, and then he'll actually cold outreach copywriters and try to recruit. Yeah.
Okay, so let's. You want to know how I hired my COO and my CEO?
Yeah.
Through our HR department. Okay, you want me to give you our hiring process?
Yeah.
Just real quickly?
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, our human resources lady, she puts out an ad.
Yeah.
Okay. Then she gets a bunch of resumes and applications. Then she goes through hundreds of them. She chooses the last 30 to do a first introductory interview, the initial interview. That's virtual with her. If she, depending on the position, right? So let's just say that we're hiring a disposition manager, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So she goes, like I said, she does all that, filters through the applications and the resumes, picks out the last 30, and then she does the first initial Zoom with them. If she likes them, she sets up a second with the head of that department.
Yeah.
If the head of that department likes them, that person now sets up an interview with whoever is leading that company. In this case, the director of development. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. So it's almost like a let me see, resumes, and filter out the resumes and applications. First interview, department interview, and then the last interview. So 4. It's 3 interviews, but it's a 4-step process for us.
Yeah. Yeah.
See,
very similar.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
That's a hiring process.
Yeah.
Right. And you're going to weed out a bunch. That way it's like no one's ever going to have their hiring process completely dialed in, because some people interview very well.
Yeah.
So you're going to be like, oh, I really like this person. They're going to do so well. They interviewed extremely well. And the next thing you know, 1 or 2 weeks in, they're a complete egg.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's happened in our company.
Yeah.
That's happened with a controller that we hired for our financial department. We have a financial department. You see what I'm saying? HR, financial, right?
Yeah.
We have a sales department, marketing department, media department, right? Creative department. So we hired a controller on Monday. We're like, man, we really like this dude. He meditates, he reads, he works out. He knows he knows QuickBooks.
Premiere?
The new one, right? The QuickBooks something, QuickBooks
Elite.
Online, QuickBooks
Yeah,
Online, or something, right?
yeah.
He knows everything, right? He knows how to forecast, etc. We hired him on Monday. By Wednesday, we were able to identify that he lied about a lot of the things he said he knew.
Yeah.
He called in Thursday. He had a doctor appointment. I said, Hope, our HR lady, I said, tell him we're moving on. That's it. She fired him over the phone. See, you know that you're on the right track as a business owner when you're no longer doing the hiring and the firing.
Yeah.
I no longer do the hiring or the firing. And the only people that I give performance evaluation reviews is to management. And then management gives it to their people. So you see, it's a structure.
Yeah. I think it's amazing. Okay, I do want to talk about real estate really quick. So,
that we were talking about real estate.
Yeah. We're talking about management and business building. Dispositions. So, if you are doing deals across the country in all these like random markets, how are you making sure that you sell these properties for a $20K profit? Because I feel like that's where people start to fall. And that's a part where, honestly, as an interviewer, I get excited about sales and marketing, and then I forget about the dispositions. Yeah.
Well, my first question is, what does your maximum allowed offer formula look like? See, you have to incorporate what you want to make so that you can have that as an MAO. It's your fault you're not making $20,000. If your MAO formula doesn't have a 20, 25, 30, whatever you want to make. If you want to make 10, make 10. If you want to make 15, make 15. But it's your fault. Your MAO, your maximum allowed offer, right, should be formulated in a way that allows you to make that money, right? So let's go through an example.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go through a cash offer.
Yeah.
Let's go through because we're 50-50 now. We're 50% novation and we're 50% cash offer. Okay. So let's go through a cash offer, right? This is what I'm going to do for a cash offer if I'm really trying to make a decent amount of a decent rip, right?
Yeah.
We're going to go into North Carolina and we're going to say that the after repair value is $350K.
Okay.
That is the after repair value after you put $30,000 into the property. Okay.
That's not as is, that's after.
That's after you put.
Got it.
Okay. So what does an investor want to make on that $350,000 as a bare minimum?
30K.
35. I'm gonna say 35.
Yeah.
10%.
Yeah.
Okay. 35. Okay. So we're gonna do now. We have to calculate. The first thing we should calculate is closing costs and agency fees. So let's calculate, let's reduce 7%, right? So let's multiply 350 times 0.93, which is the 7%. Like we're at 325.5. What was the rehab? 30,000.
Yeah. Well, that was the profit.
No, the profit was 35.
Yeah.
How much does the investor want to make?
35.
What do you want to make as a wholesaler?
20.
Your maximum allowed offer is $240,500. Well, you might not want to start there. You're going to have to drop what's called an anchor, right? A price anchor, where you're going to probably have to work like, hey, you know, Mr. Seller, we're probably going to be between 215 and 220. Have them work your way up because your MAO cuts off at 245 if you want to make that $20,000.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. You have to come up with the formula. You have to incorporate the money you want to make.
Yeah.
Right. So, and again, that's a cash offer. Old school way, right?
Yeah.
Old school way. Like this is because I think innovations are the present and the future.
Okay.
Yeah. I think innovations are the present and the future. This is how I would calculate an innovation. Okay. You right now in the real estate market, you want to be either the nicest house or the cheapest house.
Yeah.
In the neighborhood.
Not the average.
Okay. So if you have a house and and it's an as-is condition and you sell it in that neighborhood for $380,000. Well, what did I say, right? You want to be the nicest house or the cheapest house, right?
Yeah.
I want to be able to sell my as-is house if it's move-in ready, right? Might need a little bit of cleanup or whatever. I want to be able to list my property at $350. If you sold at $380, I want to come in and I want to sell at $350. Okay. So if my $350, so what's that's $30,000 cheaper. Okay, $350 divided by $380. I'm coming in $30,000 cheaper. Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I would say that's a pretty good margin, right?
Yeah.
Right, for the same type of house as is. So $350 as is condition. Okay, that's my as is value. I'm going to calculate 3% because now I'm going to do closing costs and a flat listing fee. 3%.
Yeah.
Not 7%. Remember
3%.
3%, right? So I'm going to go, now I'm at 339.5.
Yeah.
I want to make $25,000 on this innovation. What's my maximum allowed offer?
315.
$314,500.
Yeah.
Right? As is condition, I'm listing it for $350, which is $30,000 less than the other as is property that sold, that it's a very similar property, right? I'm going to deduct the closing costs and the fee, you know, the listing fee, and then I'm going to deduct what I want to make on it, right? And then that's what I'm going to put it on the market for. So if my MAO is 314.5, right?
Yeah.
I should probably start somewhere below in case I have to work my way up.
Yeah. Okay. So you're pretty much saying disposition starts with acquisitions,
That's
getting your
right.
number up front. But I understand that. But most wholesalers, right?
Are throwing stuff at the wall.
They're throwing stuff at the wall or they're overestimating the ARV.
Yeah.
So when they blast it out.
Because most of them have never rehabbed the property.
Yeah. Yeah. They're underestimating.
And obviously the dollar per square foot varies depending on the market, right?
Yeah.
You know, my construction costs, my rehab costs in Arizona is going to be different than California. You know that.
Yeah. But let's say you're doing nationwide. This is not, you're not wholesaling in the heart of Phoenix. You're doing just random booty towns, right?
Oh my God.
Yeah. How are you dispoing those deals in those booty towns?
Well, first of all, you probably shouldn't be acquiring deals in the booty towns.
But if
You should have a criteria.
Okay, so when you're getting leads in booty towns, you're just tossing them?
Well, what kind of booty town? What's the population in that booty town?
Okay, well, so then I guess your marketing, are you doing nationwide, but you're doing
no, see, you gotta have a criteria, right? You know, $50,000 people or more, you know, population, you know, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. You see, you gotta filter your criteria to match the prospect that you're targeting.
Yeah. So when you're doing Facebook or PPC, you're not turning it on in North Carolina. You get what I'm saying? You're turning it on in Charlotte or
No. Sometimes, right? Sometimes I'm turning it on city specific, and you can go 20 to 30 miles outside of that metro area.
Yeah.
Right? But there's a lot of people out there that just turn on the entire state.
Exactly.
And they just know they set up their CRM to filter, through that criteria.
Yeah.
Like if that criteria isn't met, right, it goes into another pipeline. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Walk me through your dispositions process. Keep acquisitions out of it.
Yeah.
Let's just say they got it at a good deal.
We got a good deal.
Yeah.
We're gonna, depending on what we're doing, are we doing a cash deal or are we doing an innovation deal? Okay,
Cash.
we're doing a cash deal. Okay, well, we're gonna have obviously as much, the pictures, video in some cases, right? Everything that we need to be able to have some type of, I would say the most visual that you can give the end buyer, right?
Yeah.
And even with that, most people still want to walk it, right? So there has to be some kind of access
Entry.
to the property,
Yeah.
right? Okay, great. I think the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put it on Investor Lift.
Okay.
We're gonna put it on. We're gonna blast it to our VIP buyers. I would say those are the two big things.
Yeah.
And you can even take it to Facebook. Facebook, believe it or not, is ridiculous. Facebook is ridiculous, brother. You can go into a lot of these groups, these real estate groups, right?
Yeah.
If you blast a deal on like wholesaling houses full time, or even my property community, my property community has like 55,000, 57,000 people. Wholesaling houses full time has like 150,000 people, right? You don't think you're going to find investors there?
I think you're gonna find a lot of wholesalers though.
Well, whatever. But when you're blasting a deal, you're not blasting the address.
Yeah.
Right. You're blasting the zip code. You're blasting the description. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. So don't be crazy, because that is happening a lot. Right. You got to be careful with that.
Yeah.
The backdooring and the daisy chaining. Right.
Yeah.
So I think the biggest two that we're going after, the biggest two outlets, is we're going into Investor Lift, and we're hitting all our VIP buyers in that area.
Got it.
And Facebook as a third.
But if it's a booty town,
Booty Town's tough, bro.
that's what I'm trying to talk about.
Why are you acquiring deals in Booty Town? I just told you.
I just
You
think
got to
it
have a
happens.
criteria.
I think it happens though.
It does, but that means, bro, listen, this is where a lot of wholesalers get caught up. They get a property in Booty Town, Idaho. I don't know why Idaho, right?
Yeah.
Right? Booty Town, Idaho, or Booty Town, Ohio, where he's from, and there's a lot of Booty Town in Ohio. Right? And then they want... And then guess what? It's going to take you the same amount of time and the same amount of energy and the same amount of resources that a property that is actually marketable, it's going to take you the same amount of time. So it's like, dude, what are you doing? Why are you trying to sell a property in Booty Town, Idaho?
Yeah.
Why are you acquiring it in the first place? See, that's the problem. That's how people get caught up. That's how your contract cancellation ratio is skyrocketing at above 70%.
Okay.
Okay, let's come up with the Booty Town, Idaho property.
Okay.
All right, Idaho. Okay, I'm in Idaho.
You want me to take you to Booty Town or not? All right,
No,
pause.
don't take me to Booty Town. Idaho map. Ready?
Okay.
Okay.
I know Boise. You get a deal in Boise, it's gonna sell.
Ready? Oh yeah, that's not Booty Town, right? Yeah, that's not Booty Town. All right. You ever heard of Ketchum?
No.
Ketchum, Idaho. Population in Ketchum, Idaho. 3,500 people in Ketchum, Idaho. Would you acquire a property there? That is Booty Town.
Yeah. So pretty much when you get leads, if you just happen to get leads in these off markets, you guys are just not even pursuing them.
No.
Are you sure?
I swear, why would I even try to get a deal in a town that has 3,500 people? Guess what? Boise, 236,000 people.
So you're gonna stick in Boise.
Again, I don't know where Ketchum is, right?
Yeah.
But if it's 30 miles, if there's a Booty Town name, but it's 30 miles away from Boise, then I'm going to get it. I'm going to pick it up. It's 30 miles away. 30 miles, 30 minutes, I'll pick it up.
Yeah.
But and that's why it's very important to also dig a little deeper and see, what the geographical location looks like outside of a major city.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because here, what is the closest city to Ketchum, right? What is the closest city to Ketchum, right? Here we go. Oh my God. The closest city to Ketchum, oh my God, Twin Falls maybe? Boise. Watch this. This is important, right? Because this is the way people are going to... distance between Ketchum and Boise. It's 2 hours and 49 minutes, bro.
Yeah, it's too far.
We're not going to acquire this deal.
Yeah.
I'm not flipping a contract or a house in Ketchum, Idaho. It is Booty Town.
He's walking in late. You can't throw around Booty Town.
It's Booty Town, bro. We're not doing it. You're the one that labeled it Booty Town. Some people call it BFE.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah,
BFE?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
B or Butt F Egypt.
Yeah.
In the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
With 3,500 people.
I like to just say Booty Town. But any other tips and tricks on dispositions before we go to the diamond dinner with all these ballers?
Brother,
how do you stop
disposition
cancellations?
you have to get the days of just being able to blast a property and sell it.
Exactly.
That's not it right now.
I know. That's why I
Your
was talking about dispositions.
dispositioning-
Yeah.
You have to work just as hard on dispo as you do in acquisitions.
I know.
So just be ready to put in some legwork, even when you have a good deal. Be ready to put in, go to work and do what you got to do on the dispo side, right? Get creative, get proactive. It's not the days of old where you can just blast the property and sell it.
Okay, I got an idea. And I've heard of this before, but we just implemented it because cancellations and buyers being flaky, right? So we put in our assignment contract now that if the buyer cancels, they still owe us the entire assignment
It's a non-refundable earnest money deposit.
Well, no. The problem with that I'm seeing...
Oh, you're saying the entire profit?
Yes.
Holy smokes, dude. I'm going to start doing that.
Give me that. Isn't
That's a
that
good one.
good?
Yeah, it's like,
that
oh my
I'm
God.
a genius, bro.
That is, I like that.
I like that too because
But how many buyers are going to be scared to sign it?
I haven't had one person question it yet.
So he's like, hey, dude, you're in, right? Like,
Yes.
Like you're in.
Oh, yes.
Like EMD 5,000?
Yeah, no.
You owe me 25,000.
Exactly. I don't want the EMD.
If you back out, you owe me 25,000.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem that I was having. I'm like, dude, I got a $40K wholesale fee, and this guy's talking about we're gonna battle for $5K. Hell no. Like I'm gonna come for that whole thing, and they have to agree and sign to it.
Or else I'm moving on.
Yeah, I'm gonna move on, and
I'm gonna start beta testing that.
okay. And if it works, you gotta.
I'm gonna give you a shout out.
Bro,
I'm gonna be like,
shout
damn,
out,
Brian,
give me some money. Bro.
I'm gonna give him some money. I'm like, man, this dude Brian's crazy, man. He grew a beard, and he's talking about if it's no longer about non-refundable
EMD.
earnest money.
Yeah.
Now you lose the non-refundable earnest money, and you pay me the potential profit I was looking to make. Oh my God.
100%. Because that was just a problem that I was running into.
Yeah.
And then another simple one, this contract is not assignable because I was having people just like,
that we've been doing contract not assignable for a very long time.
Yeah, I know. Just a little
In the assignment of contract.
Yeah.
That's where you put the you can't assign this contract. You know what
I know.
If you're an end buyer.
Yeah. But even though after we put that in, we still had people, and I'm like,
let's finish it with this.
Okay, let's finish it with this.
Real estate, it is the funnest it's ever been. It is the hottest it's ever been. Never in my wildest dreams of being in this game over a decade did I ever think that I can take an off-market deal and put it on the market.
Yep.
MLS, novations, right?
Yep.
It's a really fun time, and I think this is going to be one of the best industries in the business sector for the next 24 months.
Okay.
So
that's not very
if
long,
you're thinking about going all in real estate, Right now is the time. And I know every guru out there is like, the best time to get into real estate was yesterday. They don't know what the hell they're talking about.
Yeah.
It's hot right now.
Okay.
It is hot because, again, I always argue this. Yes, the inventory levels still show that we have excess inventory in most of the markets, but what it's not, that is not showing is that we have high financial economical distress in every household across America. The average family in America has less than $1,000 in their savings account. Credit card debt is up, inflation is up, right? And guess what? Wages aren't up. Salaries are not up. So it's getting pretty bad out there, and that is what we're going to begin to see over the next 6 to 12 months. And I'm already seeing it. I'm already seeing it. I'm already hearing it. I'm seeing it because of the amount of deals that we're starting to do, right? And I'm hearing it because of my acquisition reps when they're talking to these sellers just want to pull equity and they can't refinance because their debt to income ratio is too high. You get what and the interest rates are too high to refinance anyway.
Yeah.
So it's a double whammy for them. So they're like, well, I'm just going to sell it and I'm going to sell it fast because I need some cash.
Yeah.
So right now it's really exciting time in real estate.
Great podcast on YouTube. We're going to put all the links of everything to your stuff in the
Carlos
description.
Reyes, Instagram.
Yeah,
right?
but the people listening on Apple and Spotify, where do they go?
Just go to Carlos Reyes Instagram, right? And man, DM me this podcast. Tell me that you loved it. Tell me that you love Brian's beard. Tell me that you love how we broke it down, you know, inch by inch.
Yeah,
right.
Carlos
Department by department. We took you to Booty Town and back.
There we go. All right, guys, we got to go. This was the Wealthy Investor Podcast. We're out. Peace. They started the VIP thing.